Can you hear us?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now 6:30. It is Friday. Yes, it is time for that fantasy show. Um, First and foremost, I do want to give a shout out to Miss Lady P and Toothpick from our First String Podcast. Fam, I'm a huge fan of you guys. I love watching y'all show. I don't miss it. Thank you for Tony. Lady A. Thank you for getting me hooked up on the show first, and I've been a fan since. So I will. Yes, first and foremost, I will be watching that show while I'm at work, getting cussed out, watching you guys.
We
Um,
appreciate it. We really do appreciate it for real.
so first things first. Yes, is it? Oh, sorry, kind of caught me off guard. First things first. Yes, it is that fantasy show. We do try to talk much about football, about fantasy football, and get anybody's point of view on how to make people better at their game, or we just get cussed out because we messed them up. First thing I do want to talk about is the injuries that have hit week one. Let me get this set up. Sorry about that. So one of the actual situations in week one, Jordan Love got hurt. Sprained MCL. He's out 3 to 4 weeks. And right now, this brings it up for Malik Willis. So if y'all know about Malik Willis, he was one of the high draft picks from Tennessee. Didn't turn out well. Now he's with the actual with the Packers.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to get y'all voices on that. How do you think that would have helped the Packers stay afloat in the actual division with the actual players that they have? Jalen Reed, Josh Jacobs. How would he actually affect those players fantasy wise?
Well, number one, I want to say Jordan getting hurt. I mean, you don't want them to get hurt, but if they're hurt at the beginning of the season, it's you're able to make adjustments. You're able to make adjustments on the field. You're able to make adjustments as far as your scheme. You're able to make adjustments in your fantasy game. So it does give you an opportunity. It's just a matter of how long Jordan is going to be out, and that's kind of where we are with it. I feel like, because it's early in the season, I feel like any replacement would be good because they've all been practicing together. They've done OTAs. They've done all of these things together to prepare for the year. So hopefully they can still mesh well and be able to push forward and produce a lot of positive results. Pick.
Well, it hurt me because I have a Green Bay Packer wide receiver, right? And I'm on that fantasy show because I need fantasy football help right now. I'm 0-1 and looking at 0-2. Yes, my fantasy roster needs some help, some love. I'm in a league with a bunch of podcasters, and I've been catching the blues. So, yeah, I need some fantasy help. I dialed 911, and that fantasy show came up. So
there you go.
As far as injuries go, like you never want to see anybody on your fantasy roster go down. What you hope for is that you play an opponent that is missing a good fantasy player. Like Tua didn't have a great game yesterday, and we hope that he's okay. We don't want to see an injury like that, but what we wouldn't mind seeing is like somebody having a sprained ankle, like a Tyreek Hill having a sprained ankle, and that's gonna keep him off the field against your team, right?
Just for that one game,
just for that one game.
Right.
That's just for that one game. That's what we we want you to be fine, but not against us. But Jordan Love, quarterbacks are different when it comes to these MCL, PCLs, all that. Yeah. They're different. The question is, how's he going to be able to push off of that knee to to make the throws that he needs to drive on? Will he be able to do that? Because we just saw Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins come back off of their knee injuries, and neither one of them wanted to put any weight on that first week. And you see how those teams went down. So you got to see how he reacts when he comes back.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I heard everything you
Nope.
said.
Nope.
Now, to be honestly, and I guess that's what I'm kind of looking at for that question. Hold on, we got one more person.
They coming in.
Yeah, we got one person coming in. Let me see if I can get him.
Coming in hot.
He was the call.
Your tech people helping you out.
Tech is
Yeah,
help.
everybody help me out.
Your tech.
All at the same
Tech is
time.
help.
Hold on.
Tech's gotta help. Everybody's got to do their part.
Yeah.
It's
Uh
the Damn, hold on, wait.
oh. But yeah, I feel like when we talked about Tua,
Yeah.
Tua is that's vital right there. You know, everyone thought he was back, healthy and good to go. It's unfortunate that he's down once again.
Yeah.
It hurts my heart.
We talked about it last night, right, in our chat, right? I think I put it out there. I was watching the game and I was like, Tua's down again. He's in that fighting position. And then everybody started chiming in, was like, man, we hate to see this. And you start to think about the person, the man, the husband, the father, the son, right? You start to think about all that.
Yeah.
And what kind of life you want this person to have. So
Yeah.
for Tua to go down and for us to continue to see him go down this way, it starts to become, mind wrecking,
Yeah.
It's really, you sitting there like, come on, we got to do something better with this.
Yeah.
And
I
then
feel
due to the fact that he went head first.
yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead, say that again.
Oh no, I said I feel the same way. When it comes to Tua, I think you remember when he had that concussion and he was like his hands were shaking. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
I was ready for him to just not play anymore then, and I know that was messing up people's fantasy games, consistently. but I mean,
at that time, it's about his health.
Right. That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, my fantasy, team versus someone else's, it's just not. I would someone's life. This is someone's life on the line. So.
I'm with you 100%. I mean, when it comes to you being able to be a great person afterwards, I'm all for that. I'm all for you having a great life after football. Doc Walker, who's always on our show, he talks about it as well. Being able to walk and talk and enjoy things with your family.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Okay, I appreciate y'all holding me down. I definitely apologize for that.
No problem. Us podcasters have to stick together now.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
I think somebody else he was trying to bring someone else in too.
Yeah.
Were you able to talk to them and bring them in? But I think there were a few other vital injuries for week 1.
Yeah, I think Love was the big one. Apparently Joe Burrow is hurt. His wrist is hurting. So we got to see what goes on with him. Of course, we know Tampa Bay Buccaneers secondary got shredded in the game versus Washington. They lost their safety for the year and they're going to be without a couple of corners for the next couple of weeks or so. Offensive side of the ball, I can't think of, who has.
We got tight end for the Cowboys, Jake Ferguson. He's hurt.
Oh yeah, I told you, I am in fantasy hell right now.
Yes. I do want to introduce you to JT, aka Loudmouth, aka Bruce Wayne. He's on the show as well.
Lady A, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm here with my co-host. I brought backup.
I see that. I just watched and I need to watch my mouth tonight.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Pick.
Yep. So I told you guys I'm in fantasy hell, right? I'm just going to give you my roster, and y'all help me out, okay? So I got Jalen Hurts as my starting quarterback. I got Isaiah Pacheco as running back one. Charbonnet as running back two from Seattle. Mike Evans, Devontae Adams. Ferguson is my tight end. He's hurt. We need to get another tight end in there.
Go ahead, pick
I
up.
hold on. I got Jalen Waddle. He was my wide receiver three in my flex. I have Hopkins as my kicker from Cleveland, and I have the Texans defense. On my bench, I have Dak Prescott. I have McCaffrey, Jordan Addison, Marquise Brown, who's on the IR right now. I have Reed from Green Bay and Kermit from Chicago as my tight end that's on the bench.
Kermit, you couldn't get Fozzie?
Let me look.
Okay. Well, I'll probably say for tight end, what I would definitely look at, and it's going to have me sound like a homer, but I would definitely look into Zach Ertz. Reason I say that is because with us having, as you know, and you don't like him, De'Ami Brown, and with us having McLaurin, I do feel as though that field is going to be open up, especially with Eckler running the ball and him doing throwing it from the side. So that's going to leave the middle wide open, especially with the Giants defense. So if he is available, I would definitely look at it getting Zach Ertz.
Is available, but let me tell you the tight ends that are available right now. The top tight end available is Parkinson from the Los Angeles Rams. Hill, is that Taysom Hill?
Yes.
For New Orleans,
yeah.
Yeah, Atkinson from Cleveland. Noah Fant, Seattle. I think Parthmouth. I think he's hurt, or Fant must be hurt because there's a note beside him. Henry from New England. The tight end from Denver, Dolce. Ott is available from Tampa Bay. Kraft is available.
Okay.
Hurst is available from the Chargers. Conklin. Gasecki from Cincinnati. Schoolmarker. And then Zach Ertz. Those are the available tight ends.
Out of those tight ends, again, I'm not trying to sound like a homer, but I would definitely look at Hurts. The reason I do say Hurts because one, they are playing the Giants.
You mean?
And like I said, I'm assuming that with the Giants, the first thing they're going to do is try to shut down our receivers and shut down Eckler and do something towards Eckler. Mm-hmm. And then they're probably going to try to find a blueprint from Tampa Bay to where they're going to basically blitz the quarterback. So I'm assuming with Washington, if they are looking at it right, the first thing they're going to do is try to at least make a good. They're going to do a lot of dump plays. So I do feel Ertz might get a lot of touches, especially this game, because they're basically going to leave the field wide open, and especially if Eckler gets hot, and because McLaurin didn't really get any touches last week, that's the first thing they're probably going to try to do is get McLaurin open and get him some quick passes. Yeah. So once they do that, they're going to probably leave the field a little bit open to where Ertz gets a few passes as well.
All right.
So he'd be one of the ones that I would definitely look at. With Cincinnati, the tight end from Cincinnati, I'm trying to think who Cincinnati playing this week.
Cincinnati playing the Chiefs, so I'm definitely not going that way.
Yeah, no. Cody Rose might have a few problems.
Yeah. What was the tight end you said?
Oh, I just said grab the Cowboy, but again, I was just being, Well,
Ferguson is hurt because Ferguson has a sprained MCL and bruised bone, so he's gonna be out for a while.
Right.
Now with the Saints, I don't know if Juwan Jordan will be. Is Juwan Jordan available?
No,
I don't see. You gotta say that again.
What happened?
No, Jordan wasn't available. He said Taysom Hill was. when he a quarterback, like how did he just get flipped over into a tight end? He's a little guy too.
Who you talking about? Taysom Hill? Taysom Hill's not little.
Compared to other tight ends in the league, he is a smaller tight end.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a quarterback.
Okay.
He just got like multi-purposed into a tight end.
That tends to happen.
Right.
Did you get your additional running backs and wide receiver or a tight end?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so you want my other wide receivers that
yeah, like one more, like a flex, somebody like wide receiver, tight end, or running back.
Okay. So my other okay. So my other people are hold on. My team. Okay. On my bench I have Dak Prescott as my quarterback number 2, okay. McCaffrey, who is hurt. I have Jordan Addison as my other wide receiver, Marquise Brown. I'm holding him until he's healthy with KC. And then I have Reed with the Cowboys, who I was thinking I might put him in the spot of Devontae Adams. Mm. I mean, I know Mike Evans is probably going to go off versus Detroit. I mean, they got 3 legit wide receivers, and Detroit's secondary needs to be tested. So I do want to keep Mike Evans there. 10 years of 1,000 yards, that's, you keep him in the game. You put him in and leave him in until his bye week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely with Evans. Yeah, definitely with Evans, because Evans, for his age, he's still aggressive. He's still one of the big boys to where if you throw the end zone, he's gonna grab it. And
give him the damn ball.
Okay.
Now, because they're playing Detroit, you said Tampa's playing Detroit.
Tampa's playing Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say this: I am kind of curious of how Detroit's going to how Tampa is going to actually handle with St. Brown and with James Williamson, especially since Williamson actually woke up now.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely feel that this might be a shootout, especially if Baker Mayfield is being cocky as he usually is. Mm-hmm. And if he got that swag, I know he's going to throw a lot to Evans. So Evans is going to get a lot of touches.
Well, my other question is, who do I start, Dak Prescott or Jalen Hurts?
Hurts.
Start Jalen Hurts. I mean, they got a lot of talent on that roster.
I wanted to be a douchebag and just say,
I would go Hurts because right now, and that was one of the things I was going to bring up on the show with Derek Carr and Dak Prescott. This is a mirror team because if you look, the same weapons. Well, I ain't gonna say the same weapons, but if you look at Derek Carr, he has his good and bad games, playoffs. He's non-existent. He does have weapons in Chris Olave. He also has it in Rashid Shaheed. He also has Alvin Kamara as your running back, and he also has Jawan Johnson and the Swiss Army knife. We were just talking about him. So what I would say, I would definitely look at Hurts first, especially since it being a Monday night game and the way Atlanta played a Monday, to where I think it's one of those high scoring games.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it's to where Kirk Cousins, does his usually Monday night choke out, it's definitely going to be an advantage for the Eagles to where they might get a lot of end zones. He might get a lot of red zone touches. So I would definitely start Hurts over Prescott.
Okay. Yeah. Jalen Waddle hurt me last night. Of course, with Tua going down, that's a lock. He only gave me 8.5 points. Right.
Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, Tua was playing terrible anyway before the injury. So I'm projected to lose this game 135 to 105. Right. That's an 0-2 start right there, right? So
who do you have as defense?
I was about to ask.
My defense is the Houston Texans.
Okay.
I have the Texans defense.
That's going to be, honestly, I think that's going to be them in Chicago. That's going to be a shootout. Now, I do have a question. Are the Chargers available?
Yes.
No, Caleb Williams is going to
Ooh,
run.
let me look.
Yes.
Because
Okay, I didn't.
the Chargers are playing the
do mine.
Panthers.
Right, I was about to say I didn't do mine yet, but I have the Chargers as my defense. Just gonna put that out there.
Oh, JT, Chicago's 1-0.
I know. I got 3 more. Shut the hell up.
You got. So right now we have a bet. So he's saying Chicago's not going to win 4 games.
The Chargers are not available.
The Chargers are not available.
The Chargers are not available. The available defenses are the Colts, the Jaguars, the Commanders, the Giants, the Broncos, the Packers, the Eagles, the Browns, the Panthers. No. The Patriots, the Lions.
The Browns are playing Jacksonville, right?
Yes.
You said who is the Browns? Yeah,
the Browns are playing
Jacksonville over the Browns,
right?
Yeah. You said the Broncos. Did you say
the
Broncos?
No, the Browns.
Pittsburgh. No, I'm talking about Pitt. The Browns and the Jaguars are playing, but the Broncos are playing Pittsburgh. So I wouldn't.
Yeah, that might be a good pick.
What, for the Broncos? I don't know about that.
Well, if he has Pittsburgh defense against the Browns, remember, Bo Nix is still trying to get his swagger. And right now, though, if they're going to do anything, they're going to run the ball. And I do believe one of their wide receivers got hurt.
Right.
So if anything, he's still a learning curve. So the way these rookies have been playing, they've been playing pretty rusty. So I would definitely look at either Pittsburgh's defense, because if they do what they did last week, which is basically blitz, and the way TJ Watt was going after Kirk Cousins, I mean, to be honestly, Kirk Cousins and Bo Nix, that's free. That's a free meal for TJ Watt.
But I don't think Pittsburgh. You said Pittsburgh is not
Pittsburgh's
available.
not available. Pittsburgh's not available.
They shouldn't be. And I'm gonna say this.
I'm gonna leave with a bunch of podcasters. They are dogs.
My sources say Pittsburgh is number 1 right now, for this week. That's the number 1 pick right now.
I will go. Quiet as kept. I will go with the Chargers if the Chargers are available.
The Chargers are not available.
They're not.
The Chargers are not available. No, the Chargers are not available. Right now, I'm sitting here looking at this, and the way I'm thinking is Trevor Lawrence hasn't performed yet. I mean, even though they gave Miami everything they wanted to handle, I think Cleveland's defense, I mean, they're going to be on the field a lot because Deshaun Watson stinks right now. He stinks on ice. So I don't want to put them up versus the Jaguars, but the Colts are playing Green Bay without a quarterback, with Malik Willis.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that pick. I will go with that, Indianapolis against Green Bay. Because to be honestly, it's gonna be a lot of, they're gonna stack the box. And the way, if you're stacking the box against Willis and him being experienced, only playing like 4, basically having only 4 starts, I would go ahead and go after I would recommend Green Bay's defense.
Also, Houston is playing Chicago and Keenan Allen and the other rookie wide receiver.
And Adunze, both Adunze is day to day.
Right. But I mean, they held Chicago. Caleb Williams last week was terrible. Yeah. So in Houston, I like Houston's defense.
But they're on the come up, so that's good.
Yeah, so I pretty much don't want to scrap them. I'd rather look for points other places because I think this is a rookie defense going against the D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah.
A rookie quarterback going against the D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah. So you want to I can go through mine. I'm a homer. Okay. I'm a homer. But not too much, because I'm just gonna put it out there. For fantasy, it's more so about the player, not the team, right? And you're going to understand that when I tell you who is on my fantasy team, because there are some teams that I do not like. I will never choose them to win anything, but they have some good players.
You got that Detroit. You got that Detroit feeling. Go, cuz come on.
No,
give Detroit some love a little bit.
No. For fantasy, it's different. So I can choose a player from Detroit. I can choose a player from the Bills, and I'm okay. I'm comfortable with that. Okay, but for my QB, of course, I'm gonna go with Jaden. Running back. So actually, I'm gonna tell you my backup. I have Jalen. So I stayed with the NFC East for the quarterbacks, Jalen and Hurts, and then running back Bijan, Josh Jacobs, and then D Henry. Wide receiver. Um, Here's the surprise. Amon Ra, and I heard you. Somebody said him. I have Cooper Cup and Debo.
Okay.
And tight ends. Another surprise, Laporta from Detroit. And then Trey McBride from Arizona. I'm not a big fan of Arizona, but I think he's pretty decent. And then I have for my defense, like I said earlier, the Chargers.
I definitely agree with the Chargers. For mine, I'm giving Caleb Williams another shot. One is prime time. Mm-hmm. Two, Houston. They just had a shootout with Indianapolis.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think this might be Caleb Williams coming out party. I get it to where
it better not be.
I get it to where I think this will be coming out party. And I think DJ Moore is going to be the reason for it. Okay. So I do have Caleb Williams as my QB. Yeah, I got DJ Moore as my wide receiver too. I got J.K. Dobbins with the Panthers versus the Panthers.
Okay.
I got Derrick Henry against the Raiders.
Yep.
Because I'm assuming that the way Kansas City played that game, that Derrick Henry's got a few chips on his shoulder. Yep. And I'm sure he must have run over a few people before he actually get that off his chest. Wide receiver 1, I got DK Metcalf with the Pats.
Okay.
Even though the Pats defense is pretty good, I think Metcalf's physicality and his speed is going to overturn it. I think they're too young. Mm-hmm. So I think Metcalf might have a breakout game. And then I also got for tight end, I got Isaiah Likely against the Raiders. And cuz don't hate me on this, but for my flex, I got Malik Neighbors playing. Going to Commanders. And on top of that, your boy, man, your Forbes is out. He got shoulder surgery.
Let me
he's on IR.
Something now, Emmanuel Forbes. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm no shade, but shade. If he's out, they have a better chance. Like no, I mean shade, but no shade. You
keep saying that he needs some food. He need to eat.
To eat, like he has to get his weight up. So I feel like somebody else comes in, they may be heavier, stronger, and able to actually stop somebody.
Hey, let me give y'all my opponent's fantasy team, okay?
Okay, tell us.
And y'all just go ahead and pray for me right now, okay? His starting quarterback is Anthony Richard. His running back 1 is Saquon Barkley.
Oh.
Running back 2, James Cook. 29.50 points last night. 30 points.
Hold on, was that
Cook?
Mr. Cook has scored 3 touchdowns last night.
Right. Oh yeah. So if he had it Thursday night, he already, we can't count Thursday night because
he already ate. I'm up. Yeah, I mean he's up 30-8. Okay. CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver number 1. Wide receiver number 2, Chris Olave. His tight end is B. Bauer from the Raiders. His flex wide receiver is Chris Godwin. His kicker is Buckner from the Chiefs. And his defense is Baltimore.
Oh, my God.
Versus the Raiders. I'm starting off 0-2. I'm just going to get a whole new team.
Oh, man.
Next
Did
week.
you come late? Did you
everybody.
come to the party late?
No, I had to. Listen, this is what happened.
Who had you on auto draft is my question.
When I flew home, the draft was happening as I landed.
Oh yeah.
So I had the number 1 pick, right? and it auto drafted Christian McCaffrey, who was hurt. I know, right? I know, Eli. I know. He's like, man,
right. Eli said,
I'm just gonna take that L, right? Just hold this L.
Mm-hmm.
I might put that picture in the chat. I might actually put that picture in the fantasy chat.
We're just gonna pray.
It's a good thing I ain't got to run a butt naked 40 or something like that for losing.
Well, apparently I'm not.
No, right now, JT, we trying to get away something Michigan or Superman.
I was about to say, apparently we have something like that going on over here because Cuzzo got some crazy, punishment.
Oh yeah.
Talking about, do you want to join my league? I don't think I'm prepared.
we have
no. My league is not bad. We have fun with it. Like I said, if you're dead last, you got to run to 40.
Yeah, that sounds like a.
But the thing is, you have to run it in your rival's outfit. So by us being Commander fan pick, that means we got to wear Dallas Cowboys stuff and run this 40.
I'm allergic.
I got an uncle that told me if I become a Cowboys fan that he was going to end me. So that'll never happen. You will never put me I will fake a win to avoid that punishment.
Let me tell you something. I'm allergic. I would not.
I would fake a win.
And then running a 40 sounds like my lungs are going to be on the ground.
Like, that sounds like a torn ACL to me.
I mean, Jay, you say you can run in 7 flat, right? Right?
I'm like, I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Well, I'm a walker 40. That's what I'm gonna do.
There you go.
Walker 40.
Do a little.
He said, "What do you say?" He got. Look, we had a conversation a few years back to say he can run a 40. And what was it under? What you said? A sub 440. Yeah, you said it. Don't make me get Marty.
I actually did. I actually went 444 back in the day, long time ago. I told
I did the same thing, but also there was an ice cream truck on the way, so it was more motivation.
No. See, Pick is an athlete. Well, Pick was an athlete. I'm 50 now.
Okay, Pick. Let me say this because I was really fast. My cousin is on here with me. I was really fast. I used to race everybody.
Yeah. We nicknamed her the Flash.
Yeah, I remember. Didn't you run track in high school too?
No, I did not run track in high school because they did too much. I was like, I'm not part of that. I thought about it.
Now I do have a question. With Thursday nights, this coming up Thursday night's game, you had the I'm gonna call it the Sympathy Bowl because you got the Jets versus the Patriots.
Why are you calling it Sympathy Bowl?
Somebody's got to be 0-2.
So you saying that?
Oh no! Wait.
Oh, sorry. No. I'm sorry.
Not Thursday night, Sunday.
Because the Patriots won. I'm sorry, the Patriots won. The Jets lost.
Yeah.
Right. No, I got the Jets coming back. I think they're going to bounce back on this one. Listen, San Fran is the defending NFC conference champs.
Correct.
With their whole mission is to get back to the Super Bowl. The same way KC's mission is to three-peat, their mission is to get back to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And don't forget, Kyle Shanahan is a boy genius, right? He's a grown man, but we call him a boy genius. and you got to remember, that team is offensively led, right? Look at their skill positions. And you got Debo, thug, right? You got Brandon Ayuk, thug, right? Christian McCaffrey, thug, and then you take Christian McCaffrey out in Mason. He ran like a thug, right? Kittle, thug, right? And then you think about their defense and did you see them tackling? I think they went in the stands and was hitting. They went in the stands and was hitting people in opposing jerseys that just showed up for, it's week 1. No, come on. The Jets, they wasn't prepared for that. They went from the East Coast to the West Coast, something like college football. hey, come on out here. We're gonna give you a bunch of money to take this L. And that's pretty much what happened to the Jets.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say this. I want to see Jacoby win. Like I was excited when they made him the starting QB. I didn't think that was ever gonna happen. In a perfect world, I feel like Jacoby should win. Is he going to? He could win this game.
Well, he won versus Brady. He won versus Brady, but the difference is Cincinnati's not the same team that they were a year ago, right? Look at where their running back is. Their running back is in Houston, and he showed out last week with 100+ yards rushing.
Mm-hmm. That had to hurt.
He showed out. They're not the same team. So the Jets have a better running back than Cincinnati did, right? Yeah. The Jets have a better running back than Cincinnati did. So Breece Hall is going to come do his thing.
He is. He definitely is.
So yeah, I look like y'all hurt my boy Eli's feelings because he is a diehard Cincinnati fan.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's why I said that had to hurt.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You might not want to watch this Kansas City Bengals game.
He said Bengals bounce back. Yes.
When?
You ride for your team. They might not bounce back, but you still ride for your team. That's good.
Yeah, you know what?
Well, I'll say this.
He might not want to watch
I will give the upper hand to the Jets. Just for the simple fact that we've never seen Aaron Rodgers suck back to back. And with the weapons he has, when you have a Garrett Wilson, when you have a Breece Hall, and
Lazard,
and then you have Alan Lazard, who knows the Aaron Rodgers system. It's going to be a bounce back game. So I would actually say I would give it to the Jets. Would I start any of them? Probably,
Garrett Wilson.
Definitely Garrett Wilson and definitely Breece
Hall. Breece Hall. I'm starting Breece Hall.
It depends. Like within the next few minutes, every quarterback in the NFL has a broken ankle.
Oh.
And
then I would start Rodgers.
That's more reason to start Breece Hall, though. I'm starting their running back. Listen, last week I heard this stat from Tiki Barber today. 6 running backs went over 100 yards last week.
That's good.
All 6 teams won.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
The Jets were unable to run the ball last week. The Patriots were able to run the ball last week. Yep. And they played ball control versus Cincinnati. If you have Rodgers going down the field and then the Patriots coming back and playing ball control, they're going to dominate time of possession. And the only thing they want to do is win by 1, right? I think that they keep the Patriots off balance. They run the ball, hit them over the top, run the ball, tight end, dink and dunk, keep drives alive. And then bang them when they have to. You know what I mean?
I do believe that because I think with the Mayo being a rookie coach, and then you have Robert Saleh, I think the defense is really going to show out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the defense is going to make it harder for the Patriots because I'm not going to lie, Eli, I'm sorry, but Cincinnati has no defense.
Nope. No defense. No
they're not more of a defensive threat. So with a team that now has now they playing a team with a defensive threat, and then with somebody like Aaron Rodgers, I definitely give it to the actual Jets. I wouldn't knock it if you might see a Drake May sighting.
Ooh,
that's not good.
Ooh.
That's not good. That's not good.
Ooh. I mean. I'm just going. Eli, I'm sorry.
That's not good. You see a Drake. They already said he's getting some practice reps.
Okay.
I think he's getting 30% of the practice reps.
Well, that's needed. You got to prepare yourself.
Well, when your starter won his first game, and you preparing the backup already, that's a little bit of disrespect.
No, you gotta be realistic, right? What happened the first game last season to Aaron Rodgers?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Don't
not
play.
this is not Aaron Rodgers'
I
backup.
know, but I'm just let's what happened?
Yeah,
Don't
4
play.
plays.
Ow, my
He out.
ankle.
So anybody can go down. Let's just what happened to Tua? You see what I'm saying? These things happen. So you gotta keep these people prepared and ready to go.
Yeah, but backup quarterbacks, they get mental reps. They don't get reps.
Mhm. It could be something that we don't know.
They're
You
just
know,
preparing for the inevitable.
yeah, the general public may not know. Maybe it was like, oh, um, what did they say about uh look, what did they say about CC husband? He didn't start because he had tightness in his leg because he don't have a name no more. Russell don't have no name
Oh,
no more.
Russell Wilson.
CC husband. But he had tightness in his leg. So he didn't start the very first game because of that. What if there's something going on like that? We just don't know. And I feel like I would prefer them if it were my team. I would prefer them to get the backup prepared than not.
I'm sorry, not Brock Purdy, but Herbert, Justin Herbert.
Uh-huh.
When he was a rookie and Tyrod Taylor got that shot, he had no practice that week because
Yep. Yep.
backups don't get practice. They get mental reps,
Yep.
right? And look at what he did. So they have to
Yeah.
prepare a different way, right?
For that.
Your job is literally to come out and get coaches' jobs are to put the best product on the field possible,
Yep.
right? So you might have a player down, but your quarterback is who you ride or die with.
Yeah.
And if you're already preparing this rookie, you wasn't really committed to this rookie, but you got to remember that he said that May won the battle, the QB battle in New England, but they're starting Jacoby because you can't throw him out there and then he sucks and struggles as a rookie when we already knew he needed when he needed to develop.
Right.
And then you ruin the kid and then you put Jacoby in. He's ruined already. It's what we did to Ryan Leaf.
Well,
So
I feel like preparing the backup I feel like that's just your insurance. If you're not taking away from QB1, then yeah, put QB2 in there too. Notice I said if you're not taking anything away from QB1.
yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good insurance. That's a good insurance to have.
Now, I'm glad y'all brought up insurance policies
Okay.
because I want to get to these Browns real quick.
Oh,
Okay.
So, we seen Deshaun Watson play last week. And I guess the best way to say it, you have Jameson Winston as a backup.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason I bring this up is because we've heard that the way Watson is from up here, we've heard the way Watson has been practicing and playing, it's like he doesn't get the offense. And they said the offense is so simple. We had Joe Flacco do it, and look what he did with us.
Yeah.
Now that you have Jameis Winston, if you feel as though Watson is not prepared, or if he chokes, is it time for Winston?
We've been looking for another.
Even though it's week 2, do you feel it's time for it's time for Winston to step up? And if he does step up, do you feel as though Watson will ever get that spot back?
No.
So Watson, let me say this about Watson. It's clear that he is distracted. I don't know specifically what his distraction is.
I'm trying to figure out because our massage parlors suck.
Well, I have an idea of what his distraction may be, but regardless, he's not playing like someone who's focused, who's hyper focused on what he needs to be focused on. I think that you do need to explore other options. You do. If that is taken away from him, I'm just the HR in me is like, don't give it to him anymore, because this man has had a bunch of options. He's had opportunities back to back, and for him to come in the game and perform the way that he did, and then we hear about additional distractions, it's like it just makes you just you exhale, like, and not in a good way. You're like, oh my gosh, what next? What, because if as he goes through this next distraction, is how is he going to be playing while that's going on?
Now, remember y'all talking about this last week about that as well, and because to me, I wanted to say this distraction was a Me Too movement, to where somebody now is really like, oh, hold on, I can get this too. Let me put my name in this too, and get in this
Well,
Me
keep
Too
in mind
parade.
that she's still in her statute of limitation for the criminal side. So if she wants to press charges against this man, he can be gone from the team for real.
Right,
So
true story.
And the Browns are hoping for that.
But that's what I'm saying. So you have to be realistic when you're looking at this. I don't care if she could be telling the truth, she could be lying, whatever the case may be. But as an organization, when you have a player who has consistently, because I'm sorry, the numbers are there. Like everybody ain't lying. You have a player who is problematic, regardless of how you look at it. He keeps putting himself in these situations where he has distractions. And it's like, what are we going to do? So from a business standpoint, from an HR standpoint, it's like, are we going to keep taking our chances with you? And you're not even performing to the best of your ability when you're on the field. So, it's sad to say, because this is how the NFL is now. They look at everyone like, how useful are you to us? The loyalty is not there anymore in this sport. Well, unless you're the Cowboys, that they have loyalty, when it comes to their players. But they're going to look at people get cut for less.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns are already looking for a way out.
Yes. They've been
The Browns are already looking
to sign that contract.
The Browns are already looking for a way out. Listen, Deshaun Watson's about to get that whole front office fired.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel as though do you feel as though if Winston has a good game, let's play devil's advocate right now.
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter, because after he played so terrible versus the Cowboys on Sunday,
yeah,
the talk wasn't even his play. I think around the league, ESPN, Fox, all of them, they talked about 2 seconds about his play. The Cowboys had a great game. They killed the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson played terrible. And we have new allegations of Deshaun Watson. That's how much they talked about him. And then the Cleveland Browns are
and I get that.
So
but can we still say the same way? And again, playing devil's advocate, can we the same way we gave the Jets an excuse for them losing to the 49ers? I mean, can we give the Browns the same excuse from how they're playing the Cowboys? Because we've seen how the Cowboys have played in the regular season.
Yeah, because listen, that team last year was a playoff team with Joe Flacco. What's the common denominator here?
Yep.
Is ever since he's been there, he's been terrible.
True.
He's there, they're terrible. Last year, they lost 3 running backs, 4 quarterbacks, and they still made the playoffs.
Yeah. It's him.
And then you bring their number 1 supposed quarterback back, and they suck. And then on top of that, to pour salt in the wounds, we back to the same thing we did in 2000 whatever.
22.
Right. We back to the same thing again. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Let me look up a morality clause in this contract. HR, she's on it. They call HR so fast.
Get them out of here.
I'm like, yeah, we're gonna look and see. They already looking for morality clauses. And plus, for them to have signed him anyway, I think that would have been in the contract. Yeah, we know about these, okay? We know about these, and we gonna overlook these. But one, if you need a massage, it will be through the team. It would not be you out on
And
Instagram
Bruno gonna
again.
give it to you.
Right. And we're going to do it here. Right. It's not going to be you go to her apartment. Come on now. Listen, let's be smart. Let's be smart. Right. They say Derek Jeter, Kanye West, they have these NDAs. Right. This is what's going down. Do you consent? Go ahead, sign right here. Have you
Yeah, but
not
we
learned
could
nothing?
get a gift basket.
Yeah. Have you not learned anything? Come on, man.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. He
Man,
keeps
I definitely understand that. I'm not going to say you preach to the choir. Now, I do feel as though if Winston has a good, let's say, like I said, again, playing devil's advocate, my favorite thing to do. Let's say Boston plays like crap. They bring in Winston. Winston blows up. I mean, Derek Carr blow up to where he throws for 250, 3 touchdowns, no interception, runs 1 in. Is Watson out the next week?
Yes.
Not only
is he released?
Yes.
Yeah. They're trying to release him now.
What are we keeping him here for?
Winston plays or not, they try to get rid of him.
They trying to get him out of there.
They're trying to save $180 million.
Winston can win the game by 0.5 points, or he can tie the game. And guess what? Guess what's going to happen? They are going to let someone go.
I was thinking fine.
Oh no.
I was thinking go to HR. You know how you throw him a fine.
Nope, he got to go. I mean, you have to look at it from an organization standpoint too. We put our reputation on the line to bring you into this game. You consistently embarrass us. You make us look stupid. We put you in the game. We gave you an opportunity, and you bombed. And
you
then
fumbled the bag.
Like Toothpick said, like, oh, salt in the wound. Like now we have another allegation. Now, in truth, the allegation is from 2020. However, it's still another allegation. So, I mean, it's too much. It's a PR nightmare. That's never a good thing. That's going to mess with your fan base as well, because there are a lot of fans who did not want him to be on their team. Matter of fact, wasn't his first game, didn't they have like a bunch of his accusers like sit in front row in one of his games or something?
I think so. In the both, yeah, I think so.
So come on, like this is a nightmare. And then to add insult to injury, you are not playing well. Like I said, other people get cut for less. So you're problematic off the field, and on the field, you're a non-factor. I don't understand why he would stay.
I'm not gonna lie. I think with Cleveland, what we've had, me being around here seeing Cleveland, the one thing that they've been begging for, is a legitimate quarterback. Mm-hmm, yeah, I'm sure y'all, if you follow football every year, Cincinnati, not Cincinnati, Cleveland has it's like a carousel.
Yeah.
Every year or two, they have a new quarterback, and I think that's one thing Cleveland is trying to hold on to at least have some type of quarterback that they can actually make their franchise. Well, now let's not get it twisted. We've seen what Washington has done in Houston. And with Cleveland, you would assume, okay, I'm going to get that same energy like he was when he was in Houston.
Nope.
Now that you see that, okay, you know what, this might not be playing. And like I said, I do feel as though if Winston steps up and plays it, next week he's released.
Yeah. And in truth, I think that could happen. That's a legitimate, scenario. And I'm just going to put it out there. If that were my team, I would be knocking on doors, having conversations with people, because what are we keeping him for? Just to prove a point. What point are you proving? If he is not playing well, you're not getting the guy you thought you were getting. He finessed you. That's how I look at it.
225 million finesse. That's a nice finesse.
So it's like, you should want better on the field for your team. You should want better. When you add up all of these factors. You paid him good money. You put your reputation on the line. He's still bringing bad press to your organization. It's and he's not playing the way that he was when you signed him, or what you thought he was going to be playing when you signed him. I don't. It's a lose-lose situation if you keep him. Cut your losses, and I feel like Jameson, give him that opportunity. You may see a different Cleveland. And I mean, I have had some personal ties to Cleveland in the past, and I feel like Cleveland they just have a run of bad luck. Don't put yourself in that situation to, continue to have this bad luck. So I really feel like they should cut their losses with him. Let him get himself together, whatever's going on with this young man, let him get himself together. You guys don't have to, the fans don't have to pay for that. That's not right.
Yeah. Also,
you're right. Yeah, I do. But before we wrap everything up, one thing I did want to bring up, we talked about Dak, and we talked about the Saints. Now we know they're playing each other this Sunday. Now, I do feel as though, and I kind of want your opinion on this. If whoever wins, what does this have effect to the other team? Because I'm not gonna lie, you have the Saints blowing up, the way that they blew up, and how they beat Carolina. Derek Carr looked like he was back to, as JT likes to call him, old smoky eyes. And you have Dak Prescott. Now, and I'm sure most people say, if you're a Dallas fan, if you beat New Orleans, you feel as though Dallas is back on the right path? And if the Saints win, do you feel as though, okay, Saints are looking like, it depends on how bad they beat Dallas. Do you feel as though Saints can actually be looked at as contenders?
Go ahead, Pick.
Okay. All right. Dallas is a 12-win team from last year, right? And my question about Dallas is they didn't have a running game last year, right? You got CeeDee Lamb, you got Brandon Cooks as a wide receiver, your tight end is down now. If you can make them one-dimensional, if New Orleans secondary can make Dallas feel like they're playing Green Bay at home again, they have a shot at winning this game. And then we would know that New Orleans is legit. Right. But New Orleans, on the other side of that coin, they have to go against Dallas's defense. And Dallas's defense is legit. They're opportunistic. They take the ball away. And they got a monster in number 11 that will put pressure on your quarterback, right? So this is going to be, without a doubt, a heavyweight fight, and a true contender will reveal themselves. But we already know that Dallas, like I said, is a 12-win team. So they should come out on top. They absolutely should come out on top. But the one thing I'm still skeptical about with Dallas is their running game. You have to have that 1-2 punch, like we spoke about like I mentioned earlier. 6 teams went over 100 yards had 100-yard rushers last week, and all 6 of those teams won. The Cowboys won, and Dak didn't pass for over 300 yards. You know what I mean?
Right.
So let's see if they have a running game to complement their offense.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say this. I like the Saints. Dallas, of course, is a division rival, so I'm not necessarily going to wish them well. But number one, for the Saints, they play Carolina. I mean, no shade, but again, shade. They play Carolina.
But their running back went over 100 yards.
Who you talking about? The Saints.
Yes.
Right. But no, I'm saying as far as your opponent is, he said boo HR. Your opponent, it matters who you play.
Yeah, but don't discount Alvin Kamara.
Oh no, I'm not. Because at the same time, we're talking about Dallas's defense. They have some changes, courtesy of my team. on their defense.
Mm-hmm.
So Dallas's strong point was their defense. Will that translate to the entire season? Would we see the same Dallas defense that we did last season when we have actually stripped them of a couple of things, a couple of tools in their coaching kit? So we'll see. And I do feel like this is a game to watch in regards to how these two teams will play for the rest of the season. It is going to be a pivotal moment. I think that if either team, if they win, whoever wins should definitely pat themselves on the back, because the last game just wasn't it. You know what I mean? I just don't feel like we actually saw their true talents. It seemed a bit easy for them. For both teams.
Of them, both teams.
Yeah, that's what I mean. For both teams, that win was just like, all right, check it off, because it seemed a little easy. So I do feel like there are positives and negatives on both sides, and this is one to watch for those who are trying to figure out what their game of the week should be. That is one to watch, and that's a lot coming from someone who, again, Dallas is my division rival. So I'm not going to encourage you to watch the game unless I really think there is something to watch.
I'm curious about the game, especially with the Saints defense.
Yeah.
Again, I'm still going to have my little traces at home, and with Chase Young being with the Saints. Why I'm not saying, like, again, with the Carolina game, it was kind of like high school versus kindergarten. But I do feel as though Chase might make a point. What'd you say, T?
You talk about Bryce Young being in kindergarten?
Yeah.
Bryce Young, I don't know if y'all know about this video game called what is it, backyard sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you guys got to look it up. Backyard sports is like these pros are turned into little cartoon characters as kids.
Yep.
That's Bryce Young in real life. Like, he just, like, he backpack on, he looks like he should be entering the 5th grade. He's little. Like,
yeah.
Like, Lady A, give me a bless his heart.
Yeah, that's exactly. Bless that baby heart.
Right. Like, that's
John, I said something positive.
It's just not right. And two things about this. We talked about how bad Cleveland's organization looks with Deshaun Watson. We cannot overlook the fact that Carolina possibly has the worst owner in the league now, right?
Poor things.
He possibly has the worst owner in the league. And we saw for 20 years that your organization can't go anywhere if it's not led the right way from the top. So what do we really expect from Carolina right now? You shouldn't expect a bunch, except for they drafted number 1.
But how do you get that draft pick? How do you get the number 1?
You got to be bad. You got to be
trade it to the Bears.
You got to be number 1 in those L's.
You got to be bad. Well, they were, but they traded it.
They keep trading to the Bears.
They did. And back to this game for real. The one thing that I did forget about the Saints and Cowboys is literally you got strength on strength here. You got good wide receivers on both sides of this game versus good cornerbacks. So this is going to be a really, really good game. And if those two things cancel each other out, that's why I said you give it to the best running back.
Yeah. To John, I did say something. I said their strength was always the defense. It's unfortunate that we took some people, but I did say it was going to be a good game to watch as well. That's about it. That's all you can get from me. I can't.
Now I will say this: when it comes to Dallas and New Orleans, it seems like every time they play each other, whoever wins, it seems to be the turnaround. Because if you actually look at throughout the years when Dallas struggled, I think it was like 2 years ago when Dallas struggled, they played New Orleans, they beat New Orleans, and then Dallas went on that streak, went to the playoffs, played a few games, and then got kicked out.
Yep, that's what they normally do.
It always seems as though Dallas makes their run because it seems like every year, the years they play New Orleans has been a good team. They've been one of those contenders. And we always write Dallas off when they play New Orleans. Yeah. And for some reason, they end up either they make a statement game and they go on their streak. Do you feel as though if I probably keep saying this over and over again. I don't know why. I apologize if I do. But do you feel as though whoever wins this game, it actually clarifies who the team really is? If Dallas wins, do you think Dallas is going to go on another streak? If the Saints win, do you feel as though the Saints now have a chance? Because we've always said, I've heard the show, that we kind of given Atlanta a little bit of the actual title already. And shout out to my boy. Don't let him know I said this. I don't want to get fined for this. But I do feel as though if they beat the Cowboys, that will put them into where, you know what, besides the Atlanta Falcons, they might need to worry about New Orleans as well.
Right.
First off, did you see the Falcons play?
I saw the Falcons play. Yes, I did. I saw the Falcons play.
Kirk Cousins did
again.
Not
that's
look
week
like
one.
He didn't like that.
He did not look like it. Okay.
He didn't like that.
He did not like that. Okay, so listen.
So yeah, Tail said that. Tail said no disrespect.
No, Ted will tell you. I told y'all I came on the First String podcast and I said, y'all, Michael Penix Jr. is going to be y'all week one starter. Did I not say that, Lady A? I said that. I said Michael Penix Jr. is going to be y'all week one starter. Michael Penix Jr. should have been their week one starter.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, my question to you is this. Back to your question. If the Saints lose this game, will we say they played Carolina last week? That's probably what the response will be, right? Oh, they just played Carolina last week. We know Carolina's a bad team. But if the Saints come away with a win in Dallas on the road,
mm-hmm.
we say the Cowboys are who we thought they were because they did the same thing last year versus Green Bay when they ran the ball down their throats. Because don't get me wrong, do you trust Carr to beat the Cowboys? You're going to give the ball to Alvin Kamara. You're going to beat the Cowboys the way that they haven't proven. You beat them by running the ball because they still haven't proven that they can stop the run yet.
Mm-hmm. So you want to take that, COZ? He kind of threw the question back at you, but I can answer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I heard it.
I will definitely answer. I feel like this. Number one, I said it earlier. This is a turning point, this game, and whoever wins should pat themselves on the back.
Yeah.
It is a pivotal moment.
And they're going to be 2-0.
And who? That's the thing.
Whoever wins.
Correct. That's true. But I do feel like this is a real game. You know, like I said, the last game was too easy. This is a real game. This is where their season actually starts. And I feel as though it's a good indicator of who the team is, how they play. Even if they lose, if it's like a really, really good game and it's just really tough, they're going back and forth, it still gives you insight. This game will give us insight on the true identity of each team because it's their first actual game. Now let me say this to John.
That's what I was laughing at.
Let me say this to
exactly
John.
Who he's talking about.
So John, if we were on First String Podcast, I would definitely give you a fine for that. However, we're not on First String Podcast.
You know what? It's Friday. Go ahead and find them. If you can, go ahead and find them.
But here's the thing. I just told someone he looked like an Ewok to me.
That is hilarious.
He does. He looks like an Ewok. And then you know, they always talk about he be eating. And then he came back and he was like twice the size he was, and everybody was like, he eating too much. I mean, it's real. Like,
stop feeding
I wish that young man well. That's all I can say.
listen.
I'm trying here. I'm trying to not, bash the rivals and look like such a homer and things like that. I'm trying to be good, guys. I will say I'm not a fan of Dallas. It's very clear. Um, I feel like this game may expose some things for both teams, truthfully, but I think there's some issues within the Dallas camp that needs to be a light needs to shine on them.
It should expose some things. You
Oh
have
no,
good.
John, I am a homer. I'm definitely a homer. I'm
Oh,
not
she's burgundy and gold all the way.
definitely a homer, but I'm trying to, right, exactly. See, look at my co-host. Okay, he's a homer as well. And I don't know if you can see, I have a soda can from Super Bowl 26. One of the little soda cans, the little.
I'm gonna let y'all know now. You told us somebody that bleeds Ohio State. Yeah, right now he bleeds Ohio State.
Listen, you can bleed Ohio State as long as we can get that wide receiver in 2 years from now, and three years from now. That freshman wide receiver, we got one Ohio State wide receiver that's a dog, and we can get number 4 in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Whew.
Yeah.
Memphis,
But I mean,
So don't let him fool you. When it's the NFL, he don't care about it. But when it's college, he all about that. He all about that scarlet, gray, and blue. I mean, no, that's scarlet, gray, and all red.
No, it's not. It's scarlet and red.
Scarlet and gray.
Scarlet and gray. Scarlet and gray.
I should be ashamed of myself.
Scarlet and gray.
No, I'm not, because I'm a Tar Heel fan. So I care about the Buckeyes.
Scarlet and gray. Yeah. OHIO.
Mm-hmm.
IO. Well, I do as I look at that time, I am getting that funny look on my face, like I need to hurry up. I definitely appreciate you guys being on the show. If you could y'all send me y'all picks for y'all starting lineups? What I am going to do is this: I have my starting lineup. I have JT's starting lineup, and I want to
go with my opponent's starting lineup.
Oh,
and I just want you to say what?
He's got a heck of a roster.
Lineup. Oh my god!
So just send me your lineups, and what we're going to do at the end, what I try to do every week, I actually whoever's lineup is, I'll put the scores to show everybody's lineup, see who got the best lineup.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna copy and paste this thing. I'm just gonna send you a screenshot because it's amazing. I'm gonna take a hell of an L this week. I'm gonna take a hell of an L. This is ridiculous.
Aww.
Bless my heart. Bless his heart.
So I definitely want to do that. I definitely, and I say this with so much love. I appreciate you guys being on the show. I'm just starting out, so I definitely appreciate Lady A's experience when she's telling me about it. If you ever get a chance to talk to her, I'm asking questions about what you said and how y'all do it as a team. I truly say this. I admire how y'all work.
Man,
and I'm just trying to get to that level. So thank you guys for being on the show. I definitely appreciate the love. I will be watching y'all tomorrow and Tuesday as always. So I definitely want to give my shout out to you guys.
I'm gonna tell you something. Listen, I don't know. First String Podcast is a family, and everybody plays their role. This right here is my big little sister. She is my big little sister. Like, she keeps me straight. Like, we talk every day. We literally talk every day. In the chat, we have a chat. We in there every day talking to each other. We on the show, before the show, and when we get off the show, we still talking after the show for about 15 to 20 minutes. And if we're not hungry, tomorrow me and Fed got to run. We going up to Oklahoma. That's the other part about it too, is we are literally friends. So when we finish the show tomorrow, me and Fed, we going to Oklahoma to place our bets because tomorrow's our betting show. So yeah, we on the road, and Al's just joining the family, right?
Mm-hmm. Al's here.
And Al's in DC. When I came home, Al came out. I got to see my little big sister. I got to see all my folks. So it is a passion of love. It's a second job. So you might as well get ready because you got to do your homework. You got to really, really do your homework so you can bring your
If you
audience.
see my basement right now, it's full of books,
Yep.
magazines,
Yep.
papers, ESPN, NFL.
And it always pays off. It always pays off. And it's a labor of love for real.
Yeah.
It is.
I come to
And
work. Look, I come to my other job with a book bag. They like, dude, what are you doing? I gotta get ready for the show.
homework.
I got work to do. I got
I
some
got
research.
homework. Yeah. Yeah.
So here, look, Pitt, I'm gonna tell you. This is my cousin, and they say your cousin. They say your cousins are your first best friends.
Yep.
So imagine little me, and everyone used to think, and am I right? Everyone used to think, oh, this little girl, she's so cute. And then I'm running around with the boys. And I didn't take
And
no.
we look, I don't mean run around, but I mean clotheslining us, catching us with full Nelsons, sleeper chokeholds. She was MMA before MMA became popular.
I'm gonna tell you because she told me, "Pick, do I need to come down there and get you?" No, ma'am. No, I'm good. I'm good.
I mean, but here's the thing: sports has always been in my blood, you know.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I don't take no mess. Never could, never would. So it's just only right that I'm in the sports realm now. So, and then I want to put out there because we always have a lot of people, you know, especially me. I come across a lot of people that they want to get into podcasting. They want to do what we all do and what you have just decided to embark on. I say do it, you know. I have traditionally been in HR, recruiting, you know, payroll, stuff like that. I literally changed my career. I am in sports marketing and media now. So I have changed you know, in my young age, I have changed my direction. It's never too late to start something new
Nope.
and go with your passion. If you love something, find a way to embark on that and make that your day-to-day, your daily job, or at least a good side hustle. Or, you know, it's nothing like doing what you love to do. So just a shout out to everyone out there watching that, you know, they're interested in doing something. And we have so many different podcasts out here. Pick one, do it.
Look, and the other part about it too. Sometimes it takes a while to get the chemistry right.
That's true.
Sometimes it takes a while to get the chemistry right, and she told me, she said, "Pick, our list of guests is amazing, and it's a blessing. So when things happen for us, we bring in A-listers with us. We're not just bringing, you know, anybody. You go back to our YouTube page and look at it. Wow, wow, wow. Whoa, how'd you get that person? Wow, wow, wow.
I'm not gonna lie. You getting Brian Mitchell last week made
He's
my
been
day.
on many times. And let me tell you
I'm
something.
not gonna lie. I was. You don't understand how I almost got arrested because I'm driving
Okay.
and I had the podcast on, and I'm trying to make sure I don't get in an accident while watching the show because you got Brian Mitchell on. I'm trying to make sure I catch every part of the show.
I'm glad you brought that up because once you get something established, you can't be afraid to go and talk to these people. Case in point, I remember Pick was trying to get Brian scheduled, right? And I think he might have been going through somebody or whatever, but it kept being missed opportunities, right? And then one day, for anyone who's in the Washington D.C. area knows, I go to OTAs, I go to practices and stuff like that. Not just the games. I'm at other things as well. And I always do VIP. Call me bougie if you want to. I don't care, but I always do VIP. And I'm sitting there in VIP, eating my little pastries and stuff and fruit and all that good stuff. And I look up and it's Brian Mitchell. So I hit pickup. I was like, aren't you trying to get Brian to come on the show and schedule? So I went up to Brian and I said, "Hey, Brian, how are you?" Introduced myself, tell him what podcast. I think you've had communication with Toothpick before. Yeah, we're trying to get you on the show. I called Toothpick up, put Brian on the phone with Toothpick. The three of us standing there talking. Don't be afraid to ask because
Yeah,
you will be surprised the reaction that you'll get. A lot of people they're welcome. They're willing to come onto your show.
you have to put yourself out there, right? You have to put yourself out there, and you'll be surprised. We have a legend coming on the show this Tuesday in Donna Hopkins, right? This will be our first time having Donna Hopkins come on. If y'all don't know who Donna Hopkins is, you better tune in to the First String Podcast because she's gonna tell it like a Ti is. She's gonna tell it like a Ti is.
Mm-hmm.
Come Tuesday, right? When I tell you this lady knows DC sports,
Yeah,
get ready. She's amazing. She's amazing. And I got something else for you Tuesday. Also Tuesday, Lady A, that will debut on next Saturday. We'll have our new intro.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I feel like, use your resources, use your network.
Yeah. Yeah,
Don't
definitely.
be afraid to have that conversation. You'll be surprised the people that I talk to.
Hold on. I gotta ask, who's your favorite guest that we've had so far?
For me,
No.
I feel like the favorite guest. Well, we have one guest that's always very energetic, right?
Yep.
That's Fred Smoot.
Okay.
He brings the energy. He's a little rambunctious, because I feel like Fred didn't had to get a
Fred
couple
could go any
times,
which way.
and that's another thing.
He can show up or not show up.
Right, and I will chase him down because, like I said, I'm in the spaces and I'll see Fred. And one time before, I'm not going to go deep into the story, but I chased Fred down one time. I was like, "Hey, Fred, how you doing?" But definitely, Fred brings the energy. Doc is always a favorite because he loves me. Okay.
Yeah, he does.
So Doc Walker comes on. He's pretty fun, but
I'm not gonna lie, Doc was my favorite so far. Since I watched it, Doc was my favorite. And he's quick to tell you this ain't fantasy football.
Yeah,
he's quick to tell you this ain't fantasy football.
Doc he's straight into the point, okay?
So I when y'all had Doc, I was all ears, eyes, everything. So he put it down.
So I will say it's not that I have a favorite.
Right.
It's like it depends. It's like certain energies. I'm a person that's big on energy.
I thought you was going there. I thought you.
What were you? You thought I was gonna say who?
I thought you were gonna say Travis Thomas because he comes on.
Travis brings a lot of. It's different than Fred's energy. Definitely different. If you've ever come in contact with Travis Thomas and Fred Smoot, definitely. But most of our former players and even current, like Julius Chestnut.
Yeah, I did watch that show too. Yes, I didn't know he was from. I'm not gonna lie, shame on me. I didn't know he was from the DMV area.
Yeah, I love and the reason why I really like him as a guest is because he's young, and I love to support the young athletes. And it's like, but at the same time, he's an old soul a little bit. You can kind of get that, and I just like promoting the younger athletes. I think that is amazing. So Julius, so truthfully, I think that on our show, my favorite will be all of our former and current athletes that we tend to have on the show. Like even Kedrick, hosting. He has been on the show quite a few times. He's great. Anthony is amazing. Yeah. He might almost be the favorite, but I don't want to say a favorite, but he almost a favorite. But
Anthony's sneaky sharp. Like Anthony, okay, so Anthony came on our podcast, right? And then like 2 days later, he was everywhere. He was bing, 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 bing. Like he was on ESPN, then he was on he was all over the radio. And everything he said on our podcast first. Like all the questions that we asked, it's like other people were asking him after us. I was like, man, I was like, wait, this is sort of funny. I was like, how? So I texted him. I was like, hey, what happened, Anthony? He was like, yeah, some people are watching your show that you guys don't know are watching your show, so keep doing your thing. I said, oh, okay. Anthony's sneaky good. He's sneaky good. He's really, really good. I love Anthony coming on the show.
So I definitely appreciate some of the stories. Unfortunately, I do have to wrap it up, but I want to ask one thing in favor. Peck, I love your sign off salute. If you could do that for me one time for me, please.
All right. Okay.
Not you.
Here we go. Shout out to my son, United States Air Force. That fantasy show. I can't do it with that. Okay, I got to do it First Ring Podcast. Shout out to my son, United States Air Force. First Ring Podcast, second to none. Come get some. Tell him, cuz.
Peace. Appreciate that. Appreciate you guys having coming on. Hopefully we can do more of these. I'm definitely going to be watching your shows. So hopefully I'm looking forward to tomorrow and Tuesday. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is That Fantasy Show. Also, check out First String Podcast every Sunday, every Tuesday at 8:30. Like my man said, come get some. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.